We've been tracking the situation in Seattle for a while. Unexplained disappearances, killings. Someone's creating an army.
An army of vampires. They're coming here.
Man, so I finally figured out this is a monster magazine if it was written by... God damn it, why do I keep doing that?
What is it you keep doing?
Okay, I was going to say it's fucked up now. This is a monster movie if it was written by People magazine because it's just one big soap opera.
Or written by Teen Beat magazine, more like. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's all Tiger Beat.
Even the movie itself admits it at points.
It's sponsored by Tiger Beat, directed by the CW channel. Leftover scripts from Dawson's Creek.
No, I will say this one. The one thing that actually is done better than the first two, and this is the best of the three, which isn't saying much, is that the direction isn't that bad, but you know what? You can only do so much to polish it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, look, I always watch these and I go like, look, just because you have a bad book doesn't mean you have to make a terrible movie.
Sure.
Which is what they've been doing. And with this one, I was like, you know what? I can never tell somebody this is good, but at least I'm not bored. Yeah, I'm not pissed off.
They cleaned it.
Moving. Stuff is happening.
They cleaned it up around the edges. They took the shit that was just basically incompetence before.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, this part we can do at least. I mean, there are werewolves and vampires fighting on the same side versus vampires. You can't make that cool.
No,
this guy actually does manage to make that kind of cool. But then you've got to go back to Edward and Bella going, but why can't we do it this way? I want to live forever with you,
Look,
but I can't live forever with you.
This series will always be the ultimate dick tug-of-war between lycanthrope and vampires. I'm still having to sit and look at these two idiots get just so confused about what they should be doing with their lives with this broad. After this film, I'm really like sick of this character, the Bella character. I'm sick and I'm honestly done with it.
There was a point they were like together, all three of them together in a tent, and you were like, man, you just need to Eiffel Tower that bitch.
Well, look, I didn't realize that they also added to this new mythology that once you become a werewolf or a vampire, your dick falls off too in the process.
Well, apparently, yeah, they just couldn't be any bigger wimps. They're like, I'm trying to be sensitive by being really aggressive. You're like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Who
if you
acts
think about
this
it,
way?
okay, look, vampires don't have any blood in them, and where do erections come from? Blood going to your penis. So that's a big problem with Edward. He's all like, well, it's because I'm a vampire and I would hurt you, and we have rules. But it's basically like, look, all right, fine, break me down. I can't get it up.
Well, she keeps asking when he left his shoehorn back in the hotel room. So he's like, I can't have sex.
They are always up in each other's face. It's like, I mean, you got a werewolf and a vampire. You know, when in any other movie, werewolves and vampires be biting and clawing and scratching each other. But these two guys, they get up in each other's face. You know, they all snarling, looking at each other, and they stop and they're like, she loves me. No, she loves me. And I'm just like, why don't y'all just start tugging each other? It's like, you know what the problem is? These motherfuckers, they don't want Bella. They want each other.
Yeah, I know that much is so blatantly obvious.
Because, you know, Edward comes up with his tight shirt on, and Jacob comes up with his shirt completely off.
No shirt at all.
He don't believe in that shit.
I know. And I was like, this is the fucking, this is a supernatural gay club right here.
Well, what I don't get is like once these guys are around Bella, they're on the fucking verge of tears, and I'm like, really? Well, why does this chicken even want to be with you guys?
It is the kind of thing when you go like, wait, what do they see in her? What does she see in them?
She's boring.
Yeah, she is boring. I mean, she's got no personality.
She's got nothing going for her.
And the thing is, like, that this is a high school girl who has no idea what life is, and she's trying to make big permanent decisions. Like,
oh, you said she's about to make dick decisions.
to me, the biggest problem is
there's a dick in the house.
In all these movies is her father. The fact that he is such, you know what, she goes after these guys because her father is so ineffectual.
Yeah.
He's the sheriff who can't catch a criminal. He mopes around. He can't tell her what to do. It's like, look, little girl, you live in my house. You go by my rules. You're not seeing these boys anymore. That's it.
Is he even a sheriff anymore? Because half the time he's like playing Mr. Mom, like reading his newspaper.
I think, yeah, he just wears the outfit and hangs out at his house.
I know. Is this guy crazy too?
He has one of those little badges, a little fake plastic badge you get out of a supermarket.
I was like, is this story taking place in Halloween Town?
Yeah, well, that fool, I mean, no wonder this town is run over by monsters. I mean, every time you see him, he's at home on the couch.
Yeah.
Well, Bella, you're coming home again. I don't want you seeing that boy, Bella.
The biggest monster in the whole town lives in his house. I mean, the mythical cock tease. Because didn't you just want to punch her in the face like 7 or 8 times in this movie and go, I'm sorry, but nobody acts that way without being responsible for what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she actually goes at one point to Jacob right in front of her vampire boyfriend, and she's agreed to marry, and starts mugging down with them. And you're like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. How do you expect us to have any sympathy for this girl?
Like, and the sad thing is that there are several scenes like that. I mean, it plagues this movie to death, which is why I really hated it. Because at one point I'm like, okay, I'm willing to believe that there are such things as vampires and werewolves in this world, but looking at this fucking display of just what the fuck is going on with you guys, she's fucking playing with your heartstrings right in front of you. She's making out with you, then she's going back and making out with the other guy, then she's coming back, and I'm like, really? Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Come on, you know that was your high school experience.
But the most unbelievable dialogue in the whole thing, though, is when Edward comments that he wishes Jacob would start wearing a shirt, and you're like, yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah. No, this is what we're talking about is Eclipse here. This is the third in the series of Stephanie Meyer's books that deals with gay vampires.
The Master Quadrilogy.
Yeah, in this episode here, there's been this string of killings that is going on in Seattle. And it turns out that the vampire Victoria, I believe, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. She still has this grudge against Bella, and she's determined to kill Bella because Bella was responsible for Edward killing her boyfriend a long time ago. You know,
it's high school shit from vampires.
Exactly. You see what I'm going with this shit?
So vampires are known for being douchebags, but this is a little extra douche.
I know because she for 2 movies she's been trying to kill this bitch, you know, and she can't do it, so she's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go start a whole vampire army to come after this one chick. And meanwhile, you got the other stuff that's happening with Bella. She's about to graduate high school, which means she's getting that much closer to probably marrying Edward and being turned into a vampire herself. And then you have the ongoing love triangle between her, Jacob, and Edward, who, you know, she can't decide who she wants to be with. So what does she do? She does what any other bitch would do. She just keeps pitting them against each other. Like, she should know better. You know, it's like, let's just cut all the werewolf and vampire shit out the picture. I mean, there's things like Edward had just given her a ring saying, I want you to marry me. This is my mom's ring, and I'm a vampire, so you know this shit is old, okay? I'm giving you an antique. Now, what does she do? She puts on that ring and says, you know what? I'm just going to take this off because I don't want to piss off Jacob. And plus, look, Jacob gave me this really cool werewolf statue bracelet that I want to wear and cock tease you with.
That she found at the fucking 25-cent slot machine.
Man, do you really want to cock tease to the point of tears 2 supernatural blood-seeking creatures like that?
Well, these you do because they ain't going to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean
cry in the rain.
But there's like, aren't they keep saying, okay, the Cullens are the most powerful vampire clan. They have special powers. They've been around forever. And even the vampire elite in Italy are a little bit weirded out by them, but they're all putting up with this bitch.
It's just odd that the families of the werewolf families and the vampire families would put up with this from these 2 guys. They'd be like, look, you need to get over her because you're kind of putting everybody in check.
That's the thing about it. I mean, everything that is happening, this chick just shook up their whole world. I mean, the reason why they have a whole vampire army coming after them, the reason why Venturi, the Volturi,
the European vultures.
Whatever, the Venture Brothers, whatever. The reason why they're coming into town and fucking up the program is because Bella's up there stirring up things. The reason why the werewolves can't get along with the vampires is because Bella's and Bella ain't that fucking hot. I mean, no, Kristen Stewart, she's a good-looking chick. She's really on everyday terms, she's all right. No, let me tell you something. On everyday terms, she's hot. When you get to the level of werewolves and vampires, she ain't that fucking hot.
Edward?
If you ever touch her against her will again.
Don't do this.
She's not sure what she wants.
Don't do this.
Let me give you a clue. Wait for her to say the words.
Fine.
And she will.
Jacob, just go, okay?
Hey. Easy, guys. Easy. Let's take it down a notch. All right? What's going on?
kissed Bella.
Well, you can't look
It's
at
like
it.
You watch Popeye versus Bluto fighting over olive oil. Even that, suddenly that makes more sense than this.
You
does.
can't, no matter how hot she may or may not be, you can only look at her with that face that she makes through this whole movie for so long before you're just sick of it. This was written by a Mormon housewife who, no question about it, had a bit of a mission here in the subtext. And the story is really about abstinence before marriage.
And
I mean,
it really shines in this movie. It
this
really
whole
does.
one in particular is really about that. And you're like, when is it? what year is it
Well,
now? Are really selling this to the masses?
Girls, as far as now that we up to this third movie, so far, if you look at it in the right way, Edward's gay. Edward he ain't wrestling with like, should I turn a human into a vampire? He's wrestling with, when can I come out the gay vampire closet? You know what I mean?
It is that kind of thing where, like, if you just for a second, like, not even joking around, apply that aesthetic to it, suddenly everything makes sense.
Everything.
Him
I'm not joking.
No, I
No.
know. That's what I'm saying. Not even as a joke. Like when he, like one of the things I'm not totally negative about this movie because I like the fact that him and Edward, Edward and Jacob actually have a conversation where they really talk about things and it actually sort of mature. It's like it's only when Bella's in the conversation that things fall apart.
It
When
really,
two
yeah.
guys talking. It's like, you know what? This is actually kind of cool.
Why didn't we do this a while ago? With that feeling you get from it, and you're like, the only reason we're so mad at each other is because Edward's been dying to tear a piece out of that furry ass for a while now.
Him saying like, you know what? I have to admit, she probably would be happier with you. And what he's not saying is because I'm gay and you're not, and in that way she could have a normal life with kids.
You know what? See, in that scene, because really, honestly,